So yes, thank you for the comment and thank you for spoiling the news. No, I'm just kidding. I was literally getting into it right now, so we'll include this in the intro. But Oppo announced today that they are opening up sales. Oppo announced that they're opening up their flagship models. I believe it's, well, we got word. We'll get into the article, but we at least know it's their flagship devices are going to be open to global markets, including the United States. Oh, yes, this is awesome. I'm very excited. In fact, I can't wait. I'm definitely getting one of these. Now, we're going to go over what models, the difference between them, but Oppo typically has stayed out of the United States market. I think how they're going to do it is open up their website for sales, kind of like how OnePlus has opened for the US market, or now nothing has opened up, well, at least the 4A Pro. Oppo, it's all about Oppo today. So let me pull up this story right here. It's a great day. It look, not just for the United States. There's some people in uh, where else? The UK, other countries are going to be able to purchase this too. If you've not used an Oppo phone, I've never used an Oppo phone. You know, it looks pretty similar to OnePlus 15 because it's essentially the same design language. I think they use not all of the same parts. It's kind of like a Toyota and a Lexus, right? A Lexus is technically a Toyota. You know, you can get them serviced at the same, you can service a Lexus at a Toyota dealership and vice versa, but the Lexus is more refined, right? That's what you're going to find here with Oppo and OnePlus. Now, Oppo is in the Lexus category, in my opinion. OnePlus, not necessarily a Toyota, right? But you get the idea. I think BBK, they're the parent company of both, have sort of putting the emphasis on Oppo from here on out, and you can expect the very best camera experience on any mobile device in the world on these phones. So Oppo announced the brand new Find X9 Ultra, and they hit us with a surprise. It will be launched globally alongside two other devices. So they are also going to release the Oppo Find X9 Pro and Oppo Find X9. So it's kind of like the Find X9 is kind of like the S26, right? As far as where it competes with or how they rank them. You have the S26, S26 Plus, and S26 Ultra. Well, you get the Oppo Find X9, X9 Pro, and X9 Ultra, right? So this is a big deal. This is a huge deal. There are some differences that you're going to want to look out for, right? There just is. There are some differences, and we will jump into it. Hey, how's it going? Yes, I know. It looks fantastic. The red is a red or orange, whatever. Button on the side, little camera button. Apparently, it's going to be it's sort of like an iPhone what is it? Captive button where it's like a button, but it's not, where it's like pressure sensitive for photos. Now, where's my iPhone? I don't even know where my iPhone is. I have an iPhone. I don't ever use the button. I'll try to use it on this one, but we'll see, right? Let me see. Do I have a picture of that? I know it's on my thumbnail, but um, here we go. Oppo Find X9. Now, this also, you OnePlus users out there, Hasselblad is still in partnership with Oppo. And that's kind of how the Hasselblad partnership with OnePlus came about back in the day, is from the Oppo partnership. They sort of said, why don't we, pair Hasselblad cameras with the OnePlus? And it's kind of foreshadowing stuff, which we will get into later. But let's jump back. That is very cool. I love that. Let's get back into this. And we'll get into specs and when it is going to be released. I am definitely going to be grabbing one of these. So it seems the global markets will expect a surprise debut. The Ultra model phone from the Chinese OEM OPPO. Let's see. They say the, well, he said, Pete Lau, the CPO, Chief Product Officer of OPPO, Pete Lau, posted on X that the latter will debut an Ultra edition to the Find X9 series globally. It's going global. Wow, that gets right to the point. Lau provided a quick teaser image of the device. Now, let's see, color-wise, other than that, we know the phone will be silver, or at least this colorway option. The image offers a tagline, your next camera. Moreover, it tells us that the phone will debut in April 2026. So this is coming up soon. We're going to see this device this time next month. Wow. Like, that's fantastic. If you're not familiar with OPPO, and again, I've never owned one, but I've always paid attention from afar, these things are spec'd out. So we'll get into I keep on referencing this. We'll get into the bad news here in a second, but this is fantastic news. This article does not say, does it say? I was noticing on another article that obviously this article here by Android Central is letting us know that the OPPO Find X9 Ultra is going to be released globally, but I also got word that the Pro and the regular Find X9 was going to be launched globally. They were going to launch the whole Find X9 series globally. So if I see anything different moving into the future, tomorrow, next week, I'll certainly let you know. But as of right now, and maybe you can help me in the comments too, as of right now, it looks like all three are coming to the US. Which is good news. Now, I don't think we're going to see a ban. Maybe I'm wrong, but they've already set in place sales for the United States market. They have a specific website just for the US. Just like if you get on Nothing's website, if you go to nothing.tech, it'll take you directly to the UK website, and it'll ask you, do you want to log in? Before he goes to the website, it'll pull up a page saying, do you want to go to the US website? You hit yes, it'll take you to a US website. So if OPPO plans on selling these in the United States via their website, they already have to have a United States website already put in place. Got to get ready for sales, make sure everything works. So if a ban does happen, it would have to come after the sale, or after the sales have started. You see what I'm saying? I hope that's not the case. A couple of Chinese companies have been banned before, more specifically Huawei, but I think that was in a very specific case. Now, if OnePlus has not been banned in the United States, I don't expect OPPO to be banned, quite honestly. If OnePlus can still operate and business as usual in the US, I think OPPO should be fine, right? It's under the same parent company. They have the same representatives. They have the same people communicating with the U.S. market. They know what the FCC qualifications are for selling phones in the U.S. market. So I think right now we'll be fine. Obviously, we'll keep an eye on that. And you are watching from Portugal. I told y'all we have a lot of viewers around the world. I really appreciate it. Let's see. True that US is dominated by Apple and Samsung mainly. Very true. And who's third? Apple, Samsung. I'm not sure. Apple, Samsung. I would say Google, but not that many people have Pixels. It's probably Motorola, honestly, because of all the real budget phones, and Motorola's in AT&T, all the carriers here push. All the carriers, T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, they give away these cheap Motorola phones free all day long. So it's probably, well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it, but I know Google's slightly moving up in market share, but we'll see. Now, let's get into the specs, because yes, these things are spec'd out, and these things bring the very best camera performance you can find on a smartphone. I've heard from people directly I have talked to, and I've obviously watched a few videos. I've talked to some people that say these cameras are insane. Like, it's essentially a DSLR digital camera experience, which is music to my ears because I've kind of given up on the whole camera thing, right? Like with the OnePlus 15, everybody's saying the cameras were shitty, and then I get the phone, I'm like, damn, these are actually pretty good. But is it like the best I've ever seen? No, and that's okay. The Samsung S23 Ultra cameras, I'm hearing, oh, they're much improved. There's 30% more light here, 30% more light there. I get the phone in, I go take some pictures, I even put a video out. I can't tell the difference between the two, quite honestly. Pixel's generally up there, but their gap of being just the absolute best camera phone. I'm talking about here in America. I know Oppo's always been on top of the list, but again, in America, can't really get a hold. I mean, you can, but you know what I mean. Direct sales, it's not official. Pixel, their gap has been closing on the very best camera phones throughout the last couple of years, but they haven't brought anything to the table lately. Like, if you take a picture with a Google Pixel 10 Pro XL and you compare it next to a picture from a Google Pixel 8 Pro, it's the same thing, right? It's good. It's really good, but nothing's changed. So in iPhone, I don't like iPhone pictures, videos. They have this like orange tint to their photos. I can't put my finger on it. Sometimes I think I'm the one that's going crazy because I notice it all the time. And I've asked some other people and they're like, orange tint? No, I don't see an orange tint. And I'm like, really? I'm like, look, my face looks orange on this iPhone. I'm like, oh, it looks fine to me. It looks like an iPhone camera. I'm like, these people are crazy. So I haven't really been wowed. I think this is the first time in a long time that we are going to be blown away in picture quality. I absolutely love a point and shoot camera. It's been a while since I've been wowed by a phone. I've been impressed, right? Like the OnePlus 15 impressed me because of the expectations. You expect it to be real shitty, but when you get it, it's pretty good, right? But it's been a while since I've been blown away by camera performance. And I think the last time I was blown away was obviously with a Pixel, and I think it was with the Pixel 7 Pro. Yeah, I know. Now it seems like, yeah, Pixel 7. But 3-4 years ago, it was the best camera phone you could buy, right? So it's been a while, and I think this is going to wow us. It's going to be spec'd out. You can see here on the screen, it's going to have a big 6.8 inch LTPO 2.0 AMOLED display, 144 hertz refresh rate. Now, the difference between the Ultra and the Pro and the regular is going to be CPU. So the Find X9 has the base model, has a MediaTek Dimensity 9500. The Find X9 Pro has a MediaTek Dimensity 9500. However, this new Ultra that they're touting, that they're putting on display today, is going to have the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, which is fantastic. I'll say all of them, the two CPUs I mentioned, you cannot go wrong with either one. So when these do become available next month, don't grab the Ultra just because it has a Snapdragon. The MediaTek Dimensity CPUs are freaking awesome. They are fantastic. They are right up there with the Snapdragon CPUs. I mean, I've been dying to get my hands on one, and this is my perfect opportunity. But here's the dilemma. Should I get the X9 Pro or should I get the Ultra? I really wanted to get my hands on a Dimensity 9500. This is a perfect chance. So whatever, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But you're going to see top of the line battery life. As you can see, this Ultra's got a 7,000 milliamp hour battery, 100 watt wired charging. Screen's going to be badass. Battery life's going to be badass. Camera's going to be badass. Dare I say, I've never said this before, dare I say, this may be the perfect cell phone. Whoa. I'm just saying. You know how I always say, if you're new to the channel, I always say there's no perfect smartphone, right? Every phone has a downside to it, whether it's battery life or the cameras or, oh, it doesn't do this or it doesn't do that. This might look like the perfect phone. I'm talking about size, strength, battery life. Cameras are top notch. CPU's top notch. It's gonna have tons of RAM. It's gonna have fast charging. It's gonna last 2 days. 144 hertz refresh rate. Like, I see why everybody's excited. Honestly, this thing looks nice. Let's see here. You hope Oppo can get in the carrier stores and take it to Samsung. I do too. However, that'll never happen. Well, never say never, but uh, in my opinion, I don't think that'll ever happen. I mean, look, maybe 10, 15 years from now, sure. But anytime in the near, I hope I'm wrong, but Samsung and Apple would throw a fit if, and I hate that it's this way, but it's just a fact. This is just how it operates behind the scenes. Apple and Samsung would throw a fit, and honestly, they might even like pull something out of their ass and tell AT&T or T-Mobile, well, we're gonna void our contract with you and pull all of our phones out of your stores. They would probably it would probably be that drastic, because they know that competition, that Oppo puts out a better product than the Apple iPhone and the Samsung Galaxies, and that's just a fact. Uh, there are no shortcomings on this phone, and I think Apple and Samsung would be very worried if that happened. And it's politics behind the scenes. Again, I wish I was wrong, but I don't see it anytime soon.